Good morning, Alan, and good morning to everyone else. I'm Terry. Welcome to TARDIS Spider. Today we look at Tomb of the Cybermen, a story once lost but found again in 1992. It is a classic from the Troughton era, though it does have some warts. So let's look at this story, warts and all. And if you enjoy this story, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment, and now Tomb of the Cybermen. In September 1967, to kick off Season 4 of Doctor Who, they would bring the Cybermen back, the first of 3 title appearances in classic Doctor Who. We will find them in a tomb on the planet Talos. After their failure on the moon base, they would go into hibernation on Talos. Then, in 1974, 7 years after transmission, the BBC junked the tapes, making Tomb of the Cybermen one of the missing stories. In 1978, the novelization would move this story into the realm of myth. Peter Hanning's Doctor Who Celebration, a book responsible for setting the initial consensus on much of the classic series, would declare this story the peak of its kind. A second book, the Second Doctor Handbook, would give this story 2 9s and an 8. Calling it one of the true classics of this era. While both give positive reviews, How, Stammers and Walkers, the Second Doctor Handbook, is post-1992, after the story had been discovered in Hong Kong. Prior to its rediscovery, The Tomb of the Cybermen was considered a classic, great, yet sight unseen. Truth said the effectiveness of The Tomb of the Cybermen could be attributed to its central plot theme, the base under siege, a successful formula established in the previous season. The Tomb of the Cybermen is awesome because it's a base under siege, and the base under siege stories are awesome. Yet nothing could live up to the reputation of this one. In legend, this is a piece of sublime horror. In practice, Doctor Who in the 1960s was rush-produced television with moments where it would transcend its limitations. Now I'm going to address the biggest negative of this story, the villains. Not the Cybermen, no, I mean the human villains. Klieg, Kaftan, and Toberman. The first thing we notice, they're the ones who aren't white. Klieg, Kaftan are of a non-specific, shifty ethnicity. Toberman, a mute giant, a black strong man. He will reprise a similar role in Terror of the Autons. Yet I believe Toberman to be the human who is the most heroic. He is under Kaftan's control for unknown reasons, yet he is the one who physically holds the door shut on the Tomb of the Cybermen at the cost of his life. With Klieg and Kaftan, there is no nobility or much forethought or actual thinking in their plans. Your average 8-year-old would probably come up with a better plan. Their plan is that the Cybermen, because they are totally logical, they will be willing to help Klieg and his logic-based lackeys to take over the planet. This, of course, fails miserably. This, though, does not deter Kaftan, as she manipulates Klieg to use a lone cyber weapon to take power over the Cybermen. This well-thought-out plan will also fail. Thankfully, the Cybermen are idiots. Their plan, they have retreated to Talos, building a frozen tomb, setting up traps so that only the smartest of people can get to them, at which point they will be converted. So when this story came to light, was it as good as we believe? Well, no and yes. The story makes no sense, it is racist, and it has no true climax. The story starts and ends with the Cybermen frozen in their tombs. This story is great because it executes the Doctor Who formula well, with a star who never lets us down with his performance. What's key to Troughton's performance in this story is the way he lurks around the edges of scenes, spending large amounts of time maneuvering characters into doing what he wants. He shapes the scenes from the margins, not through domination of the screen. Troughton's doctor controls everything with a deft touch, never appearing to be, yet never not, in control. And as always, Troughton's doctor is the one we as viewers cannot take our eyes off of. This is the earliest of the Second Doctor's stories to exist in its entirety. Even here, Troughton's charm and charisma overshadow any weakness in the story, making it a great classic Who. No story is perfect, no performance perfect, yet Troughton comes close. So we can overlook the villains, the weak plot, and while no performer can disguise or erase the racist part of this story, Troughton isn't a part of it. Anyone who was is no longer working or is gone. Nothing can be changed. Learn from the past, be better, make tomorrow better. Yes, this is a great story. It has flaws, yet don't we all? And remember, enjoy your journey through time and space, and please never, ever forget, a child cannot have a favorite book if they do not have one. Give a child a book today. Good night.